Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve, everybody. Let's talk about the greenest mystery in Saranac, New York. Because if you've ever driven through Saranac, New York, you might have stumbled upon a street name that sounds like it was plucked straight out of an Irish fairy tale. Shamrock Shore Way. Say that 5 times fast. It's got that magical ring to it, like you might turn a corner and stumble upon a leprechaun counting gold coins or an old Irish grandma forcing you to eat just one more potato dish before you leave. But how did this road get such a lucky name? Buckle up, because the truth is weirder than you might think. It all starts with the curse of the Shamrock Shore legend. Because, well, legend has it that back in the early 1800s, a man named Paddy O'Connell, arrived in Saranac from Ireland. He was looking for a fresh start and a place to brew the perfect pint of ale. Paddy wasn't just an Irishman. He claimed to be the descendant from the O'Connell clan of County Kerry, a family rumored to have knowledge of an ancient brewing technique that could make even the grumpiest man dance a jig after just one sip. Paddy set up a small tavern near the shores of Saranac River and started brewing what locals would call later the Shamrock Special, a beer that was so smooth, so rich, and so mysteriously green that people swore it was blessed by the fairies. Word spread fast, and soon people came from all over to Saranac to try this magical green ale. But there was a problem. Paddy refused to share his recipe, kind of like Colonel Sanders, even when rival brewers begged, pleaded, offered money to know his secret. He'd just tap his nose and say, "Hey, some secrets are best left buried." Sorry, that was my bad Irish impression. But then one St. Patrick's Day, Paddy vanished. Some say he was taken by the fairies for stealing their brewing magic. Others believe he fled to Canada after getting into a bar brawl over, well, whether corned beef and cabbage was truly Irish. But the strangest part, the day after he disappeared, the riverbank near his tavern was covered in shamrocks. And to this day, some locals claim that if you stand near Shamrock Shore Way on a very magical, misty-looking morning, you can still smell the faint scent of hops and mischief. The road eventually was named Shamrock Shore Way in Paddy's honor. And to this day, people swear that on St. Patrick's Day, if you listen closely, you can hear the faint sound of an Irish fiddle playing in the wind. So maybe you're watching this on St. Patrick's Day. Let me know in the comments if you can hear that Irish fiddle playing in the wind. Fun fact break! Saranac, New York edition. Before we get back to our legend, let's take a quick break for some real facts about Saranac. Saranac Brewery. Ever heard of it? I have. I love it. While Paddy's Shamrock Special might be fictional, or maybe it's real, who knows, I don't know. Saranac is home to one of the most legendary breweries in New York, the FX Matt Brewing Company, home of the famous Saranac beer, and also Utica Club. Founded in 1888, it's one of the oldest family-owned breweries in the U.S. and helped keep beer alive during Prohibition by making soft drinks. Yeah, and actually, Utica Club is the first beer after Prohibition. It says it right on the can. Don't believe me? Go check it out. Saranac also has a wild logging history. It was one of the first major hubs for logging, with massive timber operations shaping the local economy. Loggers brave freezing winters, rushing rivers, and very questionable mustache styles to supply wood to New York City and beyond. And they're also Lake Placid's neighbor, because Saranac sits close to Lake Placid, you know, the legendary site of the 1980 Miracle on Ice when the U.S. Olympic hockey team defeated the Soviet Union. And let's be honest, if Paddy had been around, he would have brewed a victory ale just for the occasion. All right, let's go back to the legend. So did Paddy really disappear? Well, a few years ago, during some light construction near Shamrock Shore Way, workers, they uncovered a hidden underground room. Guess what they found inside? Old beer bottles, a rusted-out brewing kettle, and a single faded note that read, "If you're reading this, pour one out for old Paddy." Was it really a secret brewing chamber? Was Paddy the first beer wizard of the North Country? I mean, let's be honest, we may never know if he was the first wizard of the North Country. But there is one thing for sure. Next time you drive down Shamrock Shore Way, raise a glass to the legend of Paddy O'Connell in the luckiest street in Saranac, New York. So let me ask you this on this St. Patrick's Day edition. Do you feel lucky? Do you have a street name you want us to uncover next? If so, please drop it in the comments. And don't forget all the YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe, all that. It really helps us, help you, help me do more of this. But we want more legendary street sign stories. So please recommend a couple. We've done some really good ones. If you want to see some other ones, stick around to the end of this video. There's going to be a playlist and a recommended video that I really, recommend you checking out. Hopefully you all stay safe, or your hangover isn't too bad after a rough St. Patrick's Day. But either way, if you're up in Saranac, we highly recommend you taking the scenery. It's a great town. We recently just spent a whole weekend in there. Love it. And we've seen some cool story time, some great people, just like you. You're all great, and hopefully you enjoyed this story time. So guess what? We're going to drive around this beautiful North Country, and we're going to find us another road. Any guesses? Guess in the comments what next week we will do. Do I already know? Maybe. But it could be the one that you recommend. All right. That's all I got. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody, and stay safe out there. Okay. Bye-bye.